All right, and we are back and live on the soapbox here. We are, where are we at? End of April. I kind of spaced it out a little more from a drop perspective just because of what's going on in life. Figured the time to consume content for some might be a little more difficult as it is for me. So just wanted to say that's why I'm a little slower, about a week and a half in between podcasts now, but I'm aware of what's going down. So really what I want to do here is hop on a quick soapbox. And what I want to hop on is the notion of working out. I was talking to my buddy the other day, and it just sort of like, we talked about training, and also, him being a previous games competitor, me being a games competitor, and he's more recently made the decision, whether it was forced or not, to not compete. Like we're training about half a year of I'm going to compete, and then not, just because of the nature of the beast of what we're looking at now. And I think, and then for me, obviously training as I do, but really without an intention of competing. We got on the topic of how much we love to train and how much we love to do just really difficult, smashing workouts but again, for no main end state goal again. And so the topic is like, training for nothing. How do you train for nothing, and why do you train? And because here's the deal, we think about fitness, and you have sickness, wellness, fitness, and this is ever present, certainly nowadays when it comes to, the hedge against sickness. But you can get really, really fit by doing one workout a day, CrossFit variance, functionality, intensity. And, really from start to finish, like, from a warm up to a skill to a workout in under an hour and be good to go. But why do some people, myself and others included, go a lot harder than that? Why do we have a little higher volume? Why do we go to the point that's super difficult and super challenging, and to the point where we're toast every day? And, and I think it's for the simple reason is we love it. And I think that this is an important thing to understand is everyone is different, but it's okay to train for nothing if you love it. And I really do personally love training. I love working out, and I do think that, and I really do have a hard time. I struggle with this because I think I know other people don't. So for me, a very important part of my day is to work out. That's why I wake up at 4:30 a.m. Right now and work out from 5 to 6, and I hit it pretty hard with the boys. And it's funny. It doesn't mean that it's not hard to be motivated. It's just so important. I feel so much better when I do it. But gosh, like I'm just not okay personally with this sustaining of fitness. I want to keep pushing more. I want to keep getting better. And and that is something that for me drives me. So yeah, my goal isn't to go to the CrossFit Games. My goal isn't to do any of that anymore, quite honestly. And one of my main goals simply is to be as fit as I can be, to keep getting better, to now, I don't expect I can be as fit as I was because I'm not training 2 or 3 times a day, but I want to be able to maintain my fitness. I want to still, and I was talking to my buddies about this on, I think, on another podcast, and it's like, I also just want to be able to hang out with my friends, who are, just happen to be really fit, and I don't want to let them down. If I'm going to be a partner with them on a workout next time, I got to be able to hang. So there's this level of fitness you have to maintain, within certain walks of life. And for, a lot of the people that I come into contact with, gosh, they are really fit. Fortunately for me to have to keep up. And, and by no means am I the fittest, it's like, that's the thing. Like I always have to play up. I always have to do better. I have to do more. And I think that's something that is, it's hard to come to terms with emotionally, where like, what is the goal, and like this ebb and flow. And it's I guess I look at it like nutrition, like for me, it's never like a diet. It's never like, oh, I got to dial my diet in, and then once the competition's over, I'm going to binge, I'm going to do this or that. It's never been like that for me. And it's been a lifestyle. And quite honestly, it makes my life a lot easier, and I never really, and that's why I do also struggle with with sort of the understanding of those that really that enjoy that, and I was like, oh, why don't you want a donut? Why don't you want that? It's just for me, it doesn't really appeal to me. Which makes it easier, but it also makes it easier because it's a lifestyle. And I think for those of you out there that are looking for some type of inspiration, I think you just have to make it a lifestyle piece. We're like, all right, but you have to really enjoy it. So that's where, like for me, I love working out. I love working out without any type of end goal other than I'm going to smash myself, give myself everything I got in this workout, and I'm going to feel so much better in the day. And it is. There's a lot of stuff when it comes to programming, where, we program for the hand plan, and I adapt and I tweak based off one for the 5 a.m. And plus, if I'm going to put 3 sessions in an hour that are legitimate sessions, I have to be smart with it. So the intelligence has to go along with that. But I just wanted to be able to share that with you guys and know that it's okay to, you don't need to have this end goal. And it can be more than just, I'm trying to just stay fit. I want to be better. I want to push myself. I just can't handle the mediocrity. I'm just doing this to get by, or just doing it to check a box, and I just don't buy it, and I don't like it, and I think it breeds a mentality that leads to relapses, to poor behavior. I think it gives you an out, and I think there's a hedge, and that's something that you just don't get from kind of coasting. You got to give it all you got, and you got to bust your ass. And that's how you get that euphoric feeling. And also, the fitter you are, you have to be able to go there. And I think that's why you see, training for the CrossFit Games, you have to be able to take yourself to places from a workout perspective that are pretty ugly, but also you have to do it consistently in the volume there, and it does take a toll on the body. So there's a balance. You have CrossFit Games training, which is, for better or for worse, pretty detrimental on your body because of the volume and loading and repetitions. Then you have sort of at the other end of the spectrum, fitness, right? CrossFit, it's going to get you super fit, and all this good stuff. And then somewhere in the middle is sort of training, and I guess you could say to thrive, where your volume's going to be a little higher. You're going to need to put more time and commitment into it. You got to be a little smarter with what you're doing. And I definitely think that you can do that. And it's okay. It's not, and you don't need to shame people that want to work out more. And I think that happens sometimes, coaches, all you need to do is one workout. It's yeah, but why? Why don't you work out more if you want to? Who cares? And the whole, the righteousness of, oh, well, you should be doing mobility or shit like that. I'm yeah, but I love to work out, so I'm going to work out, and I just keep it super simple where, you could be doing, and this whole, I don't know, you could be doing, it's are we really battling like over smaller things like that? If you want to work out, go shepherd that journey, and I'm all about it. And my friends and my family that I surround myself with, they're all about that too, and they lead pretty good lives. So, but it's also, you can't be maniacal about it to the point where if you miss a day, it's not the end of the world. You have to take rest days. So that you do need to have that relative balance, and I get it that sometimes it can lead to extreme behaviors, but give it to yourself, and if it's not CrossFit, who cares? You hop on a Peloton, whatever it is, if you want to do a lot of it, it's good. I mean, I do think, again, I get back to why does it really work well with CrossFit is because how varied it is. I can do a good amount of working out in one day and not repeat things, right? Yesterday I did 10 rounds of 10 cal bike, 10 total bar, 10 strict handstand push-ups, and then I did 10 rounds of 200-meter run, 10 deadlifts at 225, and then I went into on the minute for a while, about 20 minutes of one power snatch, one full snatch, and that was, it was an hour-long session, and I did all different things, and it was a great session, and today I ran a 5K with a 20-pound vest, and for half of it I pushed Haley in a stroller, and so the days can absolutely be different, and that's what's cool about it. And that's all I did today as well. Not every day needs to be the same. Not every day needs to check the box in some way, shape, or form. So, I do want you guys to understand that, and I think this is important for you guys as coaches and affiliate owners out there as well. Like, you don't need to most of your people don't want to be competitors. They just love working out. And that's why at the hand plan, like, we have a competitor track, but we're going to probably be shifting the changing a little bit to more individual, because yes, there are competitors out there, but you're just an individual and you want individual programming because you want a little more volume and touches. We tie that in with our affiliates because part of that day should be the affiliate workout, but the rest of it also can be on top of that, based off your goals and what you want and that. So, with that understanding can be pretty liberating as a coach, as an athlete, as an owner of a gym, keeping that in mind. And most people don't want to be competitors, and that programming should be very different. And quite honestly, the individual stuff is just giving you more options to do in a day, depending on what your days look like. It can be that simple, and you do need to program that with thought and with understanding. But most people don't want to compete, and I've talked a lot about that. And certainly now, the landscape of competition is absolutely going to change. And that's why it got me thinking about this. Like, we might never compete again, like myself and others, because it's just going to be really difficult to make it happen in the changing of the landscape. And it's not going to change how I train. Yes, time of day and that type of stuff, but I still love it. I'm going to give it everything I got. But for those athletes out there, I really hope that you can find that purpose and that passion and be able to deliver upon that. And CrossFit has to be fun. It has to be something you love to do. Training shouldn't feel like a job. And but there are also days where I just want to get my training done to get on with the rest of my day. I do want to spend time with my daughter. I do want to be able to relax with my wife when I have the opportunity to do so. So getting that work in and then getting on with the day is also important. It's this weird paradigm of I feel so good during the workout, relatively speaking, that I'm actually doing it, and after you feel euphoric. But it's really nice to be able to have that box checked and move on. And so there's not this. The feeling is absolutely different. So that's why being able to go after it, give it all you have no regrets, and then go on with your day. There's some beauty to that. And it's funny because I was talking to Paul about this, how like I wake up at 5 and we work out, but and people are like, how do you do that? And I look at people that work out at like 6 or 7 o'clock at night as crazed too. So it's funny how like some might ask me of like, how do you have the motivation to work out that early? And I might ask, how do you have the motivation or the ability to work out that late at night? I'm toast at the end of the day. Like I just have nothing left emotionally and physically. So for me, I know I have to get it in then. But if you have the ability to work out at the end of a day, gosh, it's inspiring to me. And it doesn't, I think about that sometimes, like, well, there are people doing it. So, and it does absolutely inspire me to work out at the end of the day sometimes, but gosh, it's really hard. So when, don't look at like when someone works out as better or worse or important. It fits you. Now, it's easy to sleep in the morning. It's easy to say no to working out at the end of the day for excuses. So whichever one is more likely for you to do, that should be, part of your day. Or if you can fit it into the middle of the day. I can't physically fit that into the middle of the day anymore because of the way my life is. And as we change, hopefully back into some level of new normal, maybe that changes. But for me, the best opportunity for success is in the morning. And if for you that's at night, then awesome. But for me, I'm like, man, how do you guys do that? That's crazy. So I just, it's something I don't think there's one, it's like there's one way isn't better than the other. And I think that's very, very important. So don't let the internet gurus out there be like, this is the best way to do it. It's not the best way to do it that works for you. It's that simple. And for you to be consistent, and that's key. So I just wanted to hit that with you. And we're going to spend a lot of time on the hand plan, potentially working up some dad sessions and different type of time sessions, whether it's going to be like 30 minutes, 60 minutes, or 90 minutes, and how how you can adapt some of that programming. And I'm working on that a little bit as I do a lot of that, and I want to be able to give that to you guys, but how we package that is going to be important because it's a lot of work. And how do we package that because it's really all the other stuff we're doing. I just, I put it into a way that works for that day. And also how I'm feeling as well. So I'm trying to figure that out. But I definitely want to be able to give that to you guys because I know for a lot of you parents out there or just people that are strapped on time, that be like, man, here's my 60-minute window of fitness and here's a smart way to do it. So I'm going to be, working on that and hopefully I can help. And it really, I utilize equipment, but obviously, scaling that down to less equipment is not super easy, but it can be done. And we kind of do that with the Ham at Home program. And, but it's not perfect, but we have some opportunities for you guys to kind of scale that stuff and keep it around. But I just wanted to hop on a quick soapbox, about 15 minutes here. But train for nothing and give it all you have. That's an important understanding. Give it everything you have. Don't just train to train. Train to just smash yourself into the ground in a good way, in a healthy way. But, don't just, go through the motions, because remember, mediocre intensity will yield mediocre results. You have to give it everything you have. And that hurts. And it's not fun sometimes. It's like intensity sucks. Never forget that. So you gotta go to that ugly place to see some pretty cool adaptation. So that's what I wanted to give you guys. I want you to make sure that you guys stay safe, stay fit. If you have questions, let me know. But it's an honor to be able to give this stuff to you guys. Keep it under 20, keep the soapbox alive and well and kicking. I hope you guys are doing great, and we'll see you next week.